All right, Will, so it's my turn. And we were talking about how to just basically create some of the basic simple tools, right? Like how to create a landing page that has a simple survey that lets people who are watching give us feedback.
And it's interesting. I first ran into this technique when I went to the very first hacker weekend that was in San Francisco right after I moved there. And I got put on this team with this wonderful designer, product manager, Cindy Alvarez. And this was one of her big top secrets, which is, hey, put something up that says you're going to do whatever it is you're going to do, and then collect information for people, because if they're not interested enough to fill out a form, they're probably not going to buy from you later.
And if they are interested and they tell you what they want, then you know that you're building the right thing.
Yes, absolutely. And I know I've in the past gotten stuck on this part because, while I built complicated websites, this really isn't about this. It's about just making a marketing pitch, looking decent, collecting the information.
Yep, absolutely. So first I want to go through some of the thought process. So let me share my screen. All right, so rather than just jump straight in, I realized that as I started looking around, things have changed so much, and there's so many different websites out there, so many different companies saying, we'll create your landing page, we'll create your business company, your business website, we'll make it look good, it'll be sexy, it'll be hot, it's easy, it's free for 14 days, it's not free at all. And so really what I wanted to do was kind of go through what kind of parameters did I put up? So how did I decide what we were going to walk through today?
And that's part of what stopped me in the past is there's just too many options here.
So the first thing I did was say, all right, what outcomes do I want? And so ours are pretty simple. We want to be able to connect with our audience. We want to learn what they'd like to see in the future. So we want them to actually give us information. And we want a high sign-up rate, meaning we want minimum friction. So straightforward, short, easy to fill out. We're not going to make them give us any personal information, but we'll give them a chance to if they want to. Then what limitations, do we want to put on the solution? And this is actually where it gets kind of fun. If you don't have any limitations, then you don't know how to choose. So I'm like, well, let me just be really, hardcore. I want it to be free.
Right, because here you could, one of your designers or one of your friends might go, hey, why don't you do WordPress? Well, I know from personal experience, that's super complicated and it costs money. So yeah, you have to start with, where am I limited? How do I want to limit this? I like this.
Now my thought was, if I was going to bootstrap from as close to nothing as I could get, what would be available? So free.
Okay.
Easy to build and maintain, meaning you and I are going to knock this out, and once we build it, because of what it's on, the platform it's on, we're not really going to have to do anything to maintain it. We're not going to have to do patches, or with WordPress, like your example, make sure the plugins update, make sure the spam bots are fed, make sure all of that.
There's no worse feeling than logging back into WordPress 2 years later and them telling you it's about to be obsolete. You have to upgrade it. It's just a moment of panic.
And then reliable. So what made me giggle, Will, is or you log in and it's been advertising for some porn site for God knows how long. You didn't realize you were hacked way back when. So what limitations? Another one is reliable. So, I wanted to be, not somebody's fresh out of the startup garage, just in case they decided, hey, it's not a good idea and they're just going to go ahead and mothball it. I also wanted to look at, let's say this is successful. We build something on a free thing and it's successful. How can we expand it? Can we download the information? Am I locking myself in, or can I shift to something else? Can I extend it with other tools from Zapier or plugins or scripts? Those are my thoughts. So what do you think?
It's a good list. Because what you're basically saying is our business need is, we need to get feedback from our audience so that we make the right videos to help people get their dreams off the ground. And then beyond that, why do we want to start spending money right now? This is just a startup. We're playing around with the ideas. We're getting our feet underneath us. But later we don't want to have a 5-hour project to get it somewhere else if we need to. So it's good. It's a very good list.
Okay, so we're going to go with Google.
Okay, they're not
And
going to go out of business.
they're not going to go out of business.
Sometimes they get tired of stuff and they throw it away, but I don't think with the one you picked that's going to happen.
I don't think so. So we're going to use a combination of Google Forms. That's going to be for our survey. And then we're actually going to use Google Sites as a landing page container for it.
Okay, awesome.
You have a invite to a Google Doc that's going to give us the ability to cut and paste or copy paste rather than us, sit while we type.
Okay, so let me go to Google Docs while we're talking here. Now, how long did you put into this from start to zero?
The longest part was going back through it, taking notes so that I could make sure I covered everything as we walked through it. Setting up the form and the site and getting the site connected to my own personal URL so that it's branded was an afternoon.
Okay, I've got it pulled up.
All right, so what you need is a browser, a fresh browser, and to share your screen.
Okay, so let me go with that. I'm going to share screen. Now, don't be laugh too much because of the horrid number of tabs I have open. I think this is a modern problem. But
I know this problem.
yes, I've been learning Flutter today, and that's led to dozens of tabs everywhere.
How about starting a fresh browser?
Okay, so
next
you
to
want
it,
a whole new window.
yeah, just for my sanity.
Okay.
Okay, then go ahead and type forms.new.
Forms.new. Oh wait, .new.
.new.
Wow, so is that Google's URL?
Boom. Yeah, so what it's going to do is it's going to say, oh, Will, and you're already logged in, wants a new form.
Okay.
And so it's going to go ahead and create it. It's inside your Google Drive.
So I'm not going to tour. What do we want to call this guy?
Let's call this Bunker Launchpad.
Okay, Launchpad.
2-minute survey.
Okay, 2-minute survey. Okay. All right. Do we need a description? Is that important here?
Before we go into descriptions, let's go ahead and go to settings. And so it's going to be up, with the little wheel, the gears, that's right next to the send box. Here we are.
Okay, got it.
All right, so we could collect email addresses, but if we do that, that's going to force everybody to give us their email address, and that's going to break one of the rules we set. Yeah,
we don't want that because some people may not want to, to expose themselves to us yet.
Yeah, we may not have built that trust, and given that this is our second video, probably not.
And by the way, that's a big thing when you're building any consumer stuff. The more you ask, we found this out in One and Only, the more you ask, the fewer people are going to participate. So, you really want to limit that initial request.
Same thing on the next one, require sign-in. Let's not require that.
Okay, so is this here? Okay, so nope. Require sign-in.
But if you go down, respondents can edit after submit. What this means is if they go through the form and they hit submit and then something happens, they think about it like, wait, I want to change my answer. This gives them the ability to. Summary charts and text responses would be great if it was something like a quiz, but it doesn't make sense here.
Okay, cool.
Next is
presentation.
Yeah, progress bar. I always love to do.
Okay.
Because ours is a 2-minute survey, it's probably not as important, but I do it anyway.
It's funny how important the progress bar was on dating profiles. Like people really wanted to know how much was left.
And then show link to submit another response. I don't think we want them, or we don't necessarily want to encourage people to give us multiple responses.
One time through, hopefully.
Okay, confirmation message. Let's make it a little more friendly, a little bit more us. So this is what they'll see once they hit submit.
I'm going to say we really care about what our audience wants to learn about.
Mm-hmm.
So look for new content every week. Thanks for your help. I just made it up. I don't know. What do you think?
Probably tell them where to look for new content.
So look for new content every week on our YouTube channel. Can we do a link here?
I don't know.
Okay, let me go to YouTube over here. Well, let's go back to this browser here. Okay, so we're going to go YouTube. It's very important to me, getting all these link backs and everything, super important. Bunker, anytime you have a chance, because people don't remember where they see you unless you tell them. Here we go. So here's Bunker Launchpad. All right. Now, I think when we get up to 100 subscribers, we can get a vanity URL. I forget what the cutoff is, but hopefully that won't be too far in the future. Wait, did I lose my gear? I don't know. What do you think?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then let's show progress bar and uncheck the show link to submit.
Okay.
And we're not doing a quiz, so we don't have to worry about that.
Yeah, so I'm going to save it.
That's right.
Use it.
Okay, so you have a choice. You want to get the meat in there, you want to make it pretty first, and then put the bones of the survey in.
Let's make it look good. That's always important and very motivating.
Okay, so there's a couple of sites that offer free images, great high quality images. One of them is Unsplash. So
yes, love this site. They have beautiful images, actually.
And then I thought it might be fun to look for Post-it notes.
Post-it notes.
So 2 words on the Post-it.
Yeah, it doesn't quite look right. Post-it. Okay. That one's kind of cool looking.
Yeah, let's grab that one. So download it.
Okay. Got it.
All right, head back over to your Google form.
All right, so my form is here. Yes.
And then up there where you see a palette, it's going to be near the gear.
Okay, right there. Yep. Customize
theme. Choose image.
Yeah, let me go get to upload. Yeah. Uploads, browse. Another giant list of things I've been working on. Okay, here's Unsplash. All right, here we go. Nice. So I guess you kind of tell it how big you want it to be.
So because it's currently in the banner size, it's going to let you move it up and down to say what's the sliver of that that's going to be sized the right.
Just trying to see balanced viewing, freeing detection, feeling detection. Yeah, I'd love it if machines could detect my feelings. Not. It'd mostly be angry as I'm trying to figure out things.
All right, so what you'll notice is the whole background just changed.
Ooh, so it kind of blends. It gives it now, does it match sort of your picture?
Yeah, take a look at your theme colors on the right.
Okay.
And so it's drawing from the actual colors inside the image.
Ah, nice. So I can, if I want that, I could do there.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of like this one, but I don't know. What do you think? Is that too harsh?
I don't. Oh, that's too muted. I like the first one or the one that you chose. Either one I think looks good.
Okay, let's go with this one then. All right.
Okay. So the survey resources document that you looked up, and maybe you want to put them side by side. Let's do some copy paste. This was the other part that took the longest. What are the words that I want to have? That we might want to have on this form.
Yeah, and it's real easy to you should take your time with it, but you also don't want to let it paralyze you from doing something, right?
Right.
We always had this big saying in our first startup, which is half-ass is better than no ass. And that was just, biased towards getting it out and then making it better. Okay, so I've got the document here.
All right, so this first part, you asked if there was a description. I thought might be a fun description to start with.
Okay, so I'm going to grab this here.
Yes.
And we're going to head back over to our form.
Looks like you missed the last part of the sentence.
Yes. Okay. Here
And so
we
this
go.
is really for a way, if I'm the audience and I click on this and I land on it, I want something that lets me know I'm in the right place. So like if I believe, reading a book is easier than raising money, launching and learning is better than dreaming, and technology has never been more accessible, I'm in the right place.
Yes, and those are core beliefs I think we all have.
But one of the things is that there's not rich text formatting here. So let's indent the line 2, 3, and 4 so that they stand out as if they were not the first one, but 2, 3, and 4.
Oh, got
Just
it.
kind of kick them over, say 4 spaces.
Okay, so I can't do a tab, but you're saying I can add spaces.
Yeah.
Or, okay.
Super. Okay, so now we've got our title and our description. Let's
Now,
start.
Grammarly has intruded on my screen here. Let me see if I can get rid of this. Okay, done.
Okay, so first question, if you click on that question rectangle
Here?
here, I'm just going to walk you through what we're looking at. So that first text box is, this is where we're going to type in the prompt for the person filling out the form.
Okay.
And then if you look to the right of that, there's a place you could actually put an image there if you wanted to.
Right.
And then there's what kind of question are we going to put on the survey.
Okay, nice. And they've got, all your standard stuff here.
So this first one, I thought it'd be great if we said, kind of give them a chance to tell us, what level of techie are they?
Okay.
So how techie are you? Might be our question.
All right.
And then let's make this a scale.
Ooh. All right, linear?
Linear
Yes.
scale. So this is going to give them a scale of 1 to 5. And let's make one, I'm tech curious.
Tech curious. Okay.
Okay, and then on 5, something like dream and code.
Dream and code. All right.
Great, and anytime if you want to see what it looks like so far, up at the top right between the palette and the gear is the eyeball.
Good old eyeball.
Here's
Okay,
your
so
preview.
let's preview it. Okay, nice. So it lays it out with, scale 1 to 5. I like it.
Okay, super.
And then how do I get back?
It opened it in its own tab, so go ahead and look up and go back to your.
I wonder if I hit that. That'll take me there. But okay, here we go. Okay, I'm back.
All right, so let's add a few more questions. Let's ask, what problem are you going to solve? So there you go. Yeah, add a new question.
All right. What problem are you trying to solve? And I would say this needs to be a user problem.
So I think there's a way here where we can do a title and the description.
Okay, all right, so what problem are you trying to solve? All right. And we're assuming, is this a paragraph, a free form?
Definitely going to be a free form, right?
Okay.
I mean, maybe they're better at describing problems.
Yes, well, we don't want to preclude people to just certain problems, right? Because there's, God, I've listened to probably thousands of startup pitches, and it's all over the board. I mean, because there's just a lot of human beings, and they have different things they want.
Well, let's give them some examples.
Where do we want to do that at?
There's 2 ways we could do it. We could, here in the question, we could say, what problem are you trying to solve? And then just put like a line feed and then add it under it. Or another thing we could do is right there where it says the big T, little t, title and description.
So do you think if we did it here, it does for that one?
Yeah, we could make it do it for that one.
Okay.
So what are you trying to solve?
So put that here. What
Yeah.
problem are you trying to solve? Okay.
And then the survey resources has some examples we can drop into the description.
Okay. Examples. Here we go. Yep.
Okay, and then right underneath that, where it says what problem you're trying to solve, maybe we just say, describe your problem here. The the problem you're solving here.
You are solving here. I'm glad you didn't make me type all the examples. That's pretty tough.
I care about you, man. So let's do a preview, make sure it doesn't look too wonky, right?
Okay, so we go back to the eyeball. How techie are you? Yes.
Will that work?
That'll work. Absolutely.
Okay, super.
Now
Then
let's go back. Yep. Okay.
All right, so then let's ask them, and this is uses a copy paste too. Let's ask them where they're having the most trouble getting traction.
Yes, because that's, with any problem, right, there's always, and I would find it, right, sometimes it was marketing. Sometimes it was getting the tech together. Sometimes it was keeping everything running while we grew. I mean, what were some of the ones you remember shifting gears around?
Oh man, well the thing is, it's like you address one area and the other area squeezes out, right? So it was really more of a whack-a-mole, where two or three of them would be completely in our wheelhouse, and we'd look up and realize that customer acquisition was really lacking. So you did copy paste there, which was awesome.
I did, and they put each one as a checkbox. That's pretty crazy.
Yeah, and you also, so checkbox, we're going to use that because we know it could be more than one.
Yes, absolutely.
Now that last one, delete that one, and then add that one there. And what it does is it automatically gives the user the ability to type in their own answer.
Okay, so let's go. I want to see how that looks. So we go over here, and all of a sudden we can do other, and they can put in whatever they want. This is, man, do you remember how much programming it took to build these forms? It was weeks, months of like checking all this, and you just cut and paste, and it nicely puts it there. And
it is crazy cool how easy it is.
Because this would represent a gargantuan amount of work in the 90s. I mean, just shocking. Okay. What else do we want to ask? What else have you got on deck for us here?
Okay, so there's two more questions.
Okay. So we'll copy this one over. We'll add us one here. And this is paragraph, right?
Yeah.
Okay. And our last one here. Ooh, this is the one, because we're gonna hook this up to what? Probably SurveyMonkey or MailChimp, or who knows?
Yeah, who knows? But one of them, because we're basically making a promise that we will email them if they give it to us. So we'll need to hook it up to something. We'll throw a video up on that one too.
Does this short answer, right? Yep.
Yes.
All right.
And also, Google Forms there prompt you to say, hey, you sure you don't want to make this an email one? Again, we don't, because that would make everybody give us one.
Right. Okay. So we're not doing required or anything like that. Okay. So this is nice. Now I'm going to go up here. Oh, we had that. Okay. Okay. So now we've got questions, and I guess later we can look at the responses.
That's right.
And is that really all there is to it?
It could be. So we could totally stop right here. This is a survey. We could make a short URL link to this. We could put it everywhere we wanted, and people could fill it out, and we could get the answers, and it would be complete. But I thought it would also be really cool if we could have it, say, in a URL that reflected our website. So we could put it in something like, surveys or survey.bunkerlaunchpad.com.
I like it. Yes. And then we start building our brand around people landing there. Nice.
And then that way, if we want to update or change the Google form, we don't have to remember every place that we put the link to the Google form, because it will be a new link.
Right. Oh, really?
Yeah.
So
if we
change it, it's a new link?
I know that if we made a new one and wanted to replace it, it would definitely be a new link. And I'm not completely positive how the versioning happens with the.
Okay. Awesome. Well, So where do I head over to get this landing page?
All right, so go to sites.google.com.
All right, so I'm going to sites.google.com. All right. Oh, start a new site. Wow. It's like,
And you can look at the template gallery up top.
oh, wait, let me go back then. Or do I hit this? Or,
Go up right there. Like, yeah.
So which one did you think worked well for this?
We're going to pick one. We're going to just basically strip it all down, but picking one that's already filled out at least gives a sense of what's possible in it. So pick event.
Event. Okay.
It matches.
Yeah. Nice. Okay, so it acts like it's doing something here. I remember they were talking about, I don't know if it was GoDaddy or one of them, that it took a microsecond to, propagate a site and set it all up. But they found users didn't like that. They actually needed to spin for 30 seconds so people thought something really serious and important was happening. It's just funny. You really have to be sensitive to the users. So, okay, so here we are. We've got the event template.
Mm-hmm. You can just kind of scroll to get a sense of like how they've got it built out. So multi-page, like all of these things you can do. And then we're going to start from the bottom and go up and just start deleting section.
Okay. And in this case, okay, so they got the trash can over here.
Blink.
All right. You tell me when you need to slow down here. Otherwise, I'm just.
No, I'm just pew.
I'll just keep going, huh?
All the way up to this. When we get to that near the top, we'll slow down.
Okay, so we still got a ways to go here. Yeah, it's so funny. All this stuff is pre-COVID. I catch myself watching TV or going, they're too close.
They're not wearing masks.
Be afraid. Okay, here we go. We're down to the last chunk here.
Okay, so first of all, let's get rid of the excess pages. If you look up the top right where it says home, schedule, speakers, venue, yeah, click on pages there.
Oh, here. Okay.
Oh, no, you were there over on the swing to the right. To the right.
Oh, pages, yeah. Got it. So we can just ditch all this stuff.
Yep, we'll just keep the home one.
Okay, delete. All right, nice.
Okay.
And then I guess survey instead of event, maybe? Or what were you thinking? Or just nix the whole thing?
I was going to nix that and put the survey name right at the big event name.
So kill this? Oh, so do we just do that?
Correct. And then inside here, let's get rid of from date to date. We don't need that.
No, we don't. So bam.
Event name, let's go ahead and say it's our bunker launch pad.
Survey.
And I think we landed on launch pad as 2 words. Yeah, we Rochambeau'd it.
Okay.
You can make it, let's shift it from title to, from title case
here?
to heading.
Okay.
And then let's make it bold.
Now you'll notice I do a lot of clicking, and it's because I've realized that, this isn't a mission to Mars and I probably aren't going to tear anything up. And so I try to maintain that childlike of just clicking buttons and seeing what happens, because it's not live production. So, and if you don't, you have to read about everything, and it takes a really long time to learn how it works. Okay?
Okay, let's change the background image.
Now, do we want to go back to Splash or
let's use the same image.
Okay, so here we go. We're going to change it.
Yeah.
And we'll upload.
Unsplash. There it is.
Oh. And we don't want my headshot. That's kind of lame. Okay, here we go. I like it.
Okay,
yes.
So we can go up there. Let's hold the bunker launch pad survey.
Let's do what?
Click inside that text box, and you may have to highlight everything.
Okay.
And then let's make it bold.
Got it.
Boom. All right, so underneath that, all we need to do is, right there where it says a 3-day summit of talks and activities, let's clear all that stuff out. Let's embed our survey.
Survey in.
Okay.
So we're down to here. So now how do I embed the survey?
Go back to insert, so on the right-hand menu bar.
Oh, wait. So am I in the sites?
You go back to sites, the right hand, go
Insert.
back to insert, scroll down. You'll see four.
That's part of what's nice about going with an integrated company is that they really already pre-wired everything. I mean, you could do this with other sites, but it's not nearly as easy. Okay, so here we got our survey, right?
That's right. And if you look over to the left, they've already put it in there.
Yes. Now, I guess we probably want to scroll this out a little bit so there's no scroll bar, right?
Yeah.
And then is there an easy way is there an eyeball here or how do we see what it
Yeah,
is?
go right above where it says forms on your right-hand menu.
Uh-huh.
There's a laptop, mobile, iPad. So go straight up a little bit.
Oh, right here, preview.
Right there, preview.
Okay.
So right now it's in laptop mode,
Nice.
desktop.
Oh, and then I've got over here I can go tablet.
It's off a little. Yeah, it'd be nice if it was centered.
Well, let's try
So
to fix
we can
that.
address that in a minute.
All right, so we don't like the way it is centered. I'm going to scoot this over so they're next to each other. Okay, so how do we handle
so
that?
go to where the tabs is.
Oh, wait, this is the survey, so I need to be in the site? Or how do I get back to, oh,
There you
close.
go. Close that because we're just in preview. It's going to overlay it.
Okay. Oh, so it's kind of
survey here.
over here.
Mm-hmm.
And they have a sort of design grid, I guess.
Yeah, so you could expand it, you could minimize it. It's telling you what percentage of the screen and where it's centered or left set or right set.
Okay, so let's see. What do you think? Right there?
I think so.
Okay.
All right, let's see what it looks like on mobile.
On the phone. The bane of every web designer's existence here. So it's scrolling within it. I don't know why they had the double scroll, and maybe it wouldn't show up for an actual phone.
Well, we can always launch it and look.
Yes, absolutely. So how would we, when you say launch it and look, oh, you mean go on our phone and actually look.
Right.
I like that. Okay, yes. So let's publish.
So that is something we want to circle back and hang on, hold your horses.
All right.
We'll come back. We're going to tab that like flag down something to come back to. Yeah, no. Oh, there's the fire ready aim ready fire.
All right, I'm always fire, aim, then get ready. Okay, what's next?
All right, so we've got our form. We've got the form embedded inside of a Google site. Let's change this name up here on the top left where it says event. Let's give it our name.
So we're going to say for surveys. Let's just do Bunker Launchpad.
Survey.
Okay.
Okay. Well, let's make it ours. Like even at the URL level. So we have a URL, right?
Yes,
we have a domain.
bunkerlaunchpad.com.
Okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to want to hook this up with that.
Okay. So rather than do our base URL, we'll do a subdomain, right?
Sure.
So we'll do
I think so. That way we maintain our base URL. We can always build stuff there, right?
Okay. Yeah, because we could put that somewhere completely different.
Mm-hmm.
It could be hosted somewhere else, doing something completely different. So yeah, that way you don't, because what gets hard is when you munge everything on one system, because then it has to do.
Yeah.
So, all right. So we'll do bunkerlaunchpad.com. Okay.
So go to the gear. Don't go to publish yet. Go to the gear. That's just to the left of it.
Okay.
Okay. So we've got navigation, brand images, viewer tool. Yep. Custom URLs. And so the first thing they want to do.
So we'll have to verify.
We got to verify our ownership first.
Now, do we want to show people how to do this? Because I've been through it a lot. It scared the bejesus out of me the first time I did it.
I think we should.
Okay, so here we are. I pulled up the settings here and then we're going to custom URLs. Now walk me through
Great.
what I need to do.
The first thing you're going to do is go to Learn More.
Okay, so we're going to go to Learn More. Excellent.
And it's going to walk us through 3 steps. The first one is Google needs to know that we own the URL that we say we own.
Okay.
And then we need to, on our hosting company, tell it what URL we're going to be using. And then the third step is go back to the Google Sites and say that whatever we said in our hosting site we're going to be using is what we're using. So check that we own our URL. We're going to make this our regular URL, not a subdomain. So we're going to click that link, the verification link.
All right, so let's add a property, correct?
Correct. And let's add www.bunkerlaunchpad.com. Right, and continue. So it's going to give us this text, and Google generated this, and it's its way of knowing that if we got the text in the DNS record, that we must own it, otherwise we couldn't have done it. So we'll take that text over to our hosting company.
So this is GoDaddy's DNS management panel. Okay, so what do I add?
So let's add a record. Yep, we're going to add a record. It's going to be a text. So look for a TXT, and the host, we're going to make it host here. We could use the @ I mean, I use the @ on mine.
So let's try
it's it. It's just.
Okay, now I'm going to go back and hit the verify. It did not like it for me.
Wait a second. And let's, I had to verify a couple of times.
Okay, so maybe it's just taking a while.
Yeah, the record could be taking a second to update.
Custom.
You gonna push it along?
Down time. All right, great. So we're gonna. And it liked it. You're right.
Great job.
Okay.
So it's like, okay, great. So now what's happened is Google knows we actually own Bunker Launchpad. Okay, so the next step is.
So yeah, there it is in our property list. Okay.
Super. Now where's our checklist at?
Our checklist is here.
Okay, step 2.
Update.
We're going to let our hosting company know that Cname stands for.
Okay, Cname is a common name or something like that. I just know it's anything like www or any other subdomain.
Okay, canonical name record or alias record. So we're going to create an alias, and we're going to basically, let's create a subdomain for our surveys.
So Cname.
So we'll do Cname. Yep, and then survey. And what this means is that when somebody types in survey.bunkerlaunchpad.com, it's going to use this to look up the record, and then it's going to point back to Google hosted.
So we're going to save this, and again, I'm going to choke down the amount of time it holds this to 600 seconds, which is 10 minutes. Okay, there we go. So that's done.
So now we told our hosting site that if somebody types that into their browser, it's going to use that record and it's going to point them back to Google, right?
Okay.
So the third step is we need to let Google know. Yep, survey.bunkerlaunchpad.com.
Goes to this.
Now,
I'm in this survey. Was that the problem? Do I need to be in the site? Or is this the site?
Oh,
this is the site.
I think you're in the site.
We named it this. So we're in the hosting site. Had a minor freak out, which happens quite a bit.
Well, and the little icons look pretty similar, right?
Yes, they do.
Okay, so we've assigned it. Let's do one more thing, just from a kind of circling back. If I look at this top, we can close out of this. If we look at the top of our Bunker Launchpad survey, let's make it just a little bit more enticing. Let's ask what would move you forward.
So below,
and then let them know it's a 2-minute survey. Or actually, just that whole thing. What would move you? What would move you forward?
What would it take to move your dream for?
Nice.
Question. Yeah,
Yep.
because that's what it's all about. I mean, both of us have had the dream to start our own company, and it's a big step and takes a lot, but it's always, how do I get off stuck? Okay. You know what? Maybe we never published it, and that's why it could never get there.
Okay, that could actually be it too. It could have been working all the times, and we skipped the steps. So let's hit publish. I'm actually not going to go back and rerun the other. Oh, okay, here, give it the web address.
So it's got bunker-launch-. So we're going to publish it. I'm going to bet all of our DNS trouble came from, I mean, there could have been other things, and I like how you walked me through it here. But
yeah, that publish is a critical step, right?
Yes. And it still may be cached out there. So it's hard to know when it'll pick it up. Okay. We have a live survey, and now we're just waiting on DNS to pick up and point people over to it.
That's right.
And sometimes that can take, I mean, hopefully it won't take that long here, but by the time this video gets up and posted, it'll have propagated, and we'll point to survey.bunkerlaunchpad.com to prove that we had it all figured out. So Eva, this was a great lesson for me, because believe it or not, I get hung up more on the simple things that have to do with design. Like my weakness, my kryptonite is design-oriented things versus engineering or marketing. If it's marketing, I'll pick up the phone, I'll call, I'll do whatever. If it's engineering, I'll study it. But design makes me shake in my boots. What about you? I mean, where do you see this fitting?
Oh, man. I don't have Post-its up, but I could have Post-its up about it, where design blocks me a lot too. But I think it's sometimes things are never done, they're just due. And so there's places where you can put parameters so that it's due, so it needs to happen. And the other thing is I've really come to appreciate like all of the people that I admire. If I go back to their earliest work, there was an element of suckage to it, but it didn't stop them.
That's correct. I mean, if you go back to a lot of the original sites for, internet giants, it was terrible. Like
it was awful. Horrible. Even like, some of the people that really just got started a few years ago, the earliest interviews, like, I think we're going to look back in a year and go, wow, we were brave. And, we're just doing it.
Absolutely. Well, thanks for teaching me how to do this. I mean, I actually am going to start doing this a lot for things I'm thinking about doing.
So let's recap really quickly, because like at the end of anything I'm learning, I like to recap. So today was really about we had launched our YouTube channel, right? And that allows us to kind of give a voice this way, but we really want to have input back that we're building the right thing. So the step was, let's create a survey, and then while we're doing it, let's go back to some elements that we can learn from. We put constraints around it and ended up going with a free, stable version. We used Google Sites and got a survey up and launched. Any other takeaways?
Well, I'll share one story about how a survey can save you a lot of trouble. So I was at TechCrunch, and I was helping someone out with their booth, and next to me was a company that had raised $1.5 million to do a dating site by getting your friends to recommend dates for you. And I said, well, you've got me. I'm here all day. Do you want to ask me anything? And they're like, no, we're good. We don't need anything from you. That really made me mad, because it's like, this is something I actually know about. So I went home and I wrote a big survey that I put out on Facebook that asked people how they wanted to meet people and what they were comfortable with. And I'll say that at that time, and this was probably 2007, the only thing that ranked less than your friends finding dates for you was your mother finding a date for you.
Oh my God.
Needless to say, because if it had turned out really good, I was going to start a site to compete with them just because they were so rude to me. But they blew through their money and were out of business in 9 months. And I think if they had just started with the survey, they probably would have picked a much different idea to start with. Well, thank you so much. And the next one that we're going to try to put together is I've been just heads down trying to learn how to do phone programming with Flutter. It's been fantastic. I've found all these great resources, and I'm looking forward to sharing with Eva and showing you guys how you can get to building apps plus websites. Flutter will do it all.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
So like I can build there and it's, oh, now
One
you're talking my
code
language.
base to rule them all. Well, thanks,
Right
guys.
on. Okay. I look forward to it.
Bye.
All right. Thanks, everybody.